Now it's working. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just trying to send some people the link to be in the studio. Running 3 minutes behind today, so I do apologize. I like to try to be timely. So happy Tuesday, y'all. I hope you're having a great Tuesday and that you checked out today's Tuesday tips, tantalizing Tuesday tips, terrific Tuesday. It's usually tantalizing Tuesday, but I was looking at some of the old, Instagram changed the streams, and I was looking at some of those old ones, and it said terrific Tuesdays as well. But tonight's podcast is going to be about blogging. So for any of you that ever thought about blogging, that, feel like it's something that you missed the boat on, you didn't. There's always going to be blogs because people are always seeking information. The internet's been around a long time, but that hasn't stopped people from creating blogs. It hasn't stopped those sites. So if you're familiar with Tumblr, that was actually originally a blogging site. I think there's actually still a site called blogger.com. I'm old school with it. I used the site that was still what I used in college. And guess what? A lot of corporations actually use it as well. So WordPress, that's the site that I use. But I want to give you guys some time to come in. I didn't even prepare a drink tonight for a couple different reasons. I need to re-up my stock. It's one of them. But there's a few things I'm cutting back on. Maybe I'm like unconsciously going through a cleanse. I really feel like I should take this off, but it's chillier out. The weather has shifted, y'all. So for those of y'all in the private Facebook podcast audience group, thank you to those who are joining there. I didn't go on my Facebook page yet. I'm thinking about it. I just haven't quite gotten to that yet. It's been a busy Tuesday, y'all. When you own your own company, it supposedly you make your own schedule, but I really feel like my schedule is up in the air half the time. It's just up in the air, and I adjust and move to where I feel I will be most effective and relevant. And I like having that flexibility. It's nice. So, but yeah, it is Tuesday, and we should start off with an intro. I'm really terrible at doing intros on myself. If you've been following the podcast, then you know I'm TeMeka Williams. I'm the creator and chief evolution officer of Love Inspire Teach E. I initially created the company, which we go by LITE for short. Love, L, Inspire, I, Teach, T, E for evolve. But I created the company in January of 2020. So a few months before the pandemic hit, and the whole thought was it was going to be a blog, and I needed to do a second. I wanted to restart. The company I initially started was faltering, and I had different plans for it, and I didn't get the buy-in that I thought I was going to get for it. So I didn't proceed with that one. But that's okay, because I started Love Inspire Teach E. It's more centered on things that are valuable to me, a need that I felt I could really help with because I could relate to it so personally. Just for people who are in need of support overall, that do a lot, that are so-called busybodies. So I created Love Inspire Teach E pre-pandemic, initially as a blog, and then we all got into the pandemic and everyone said, pivot, do something different. So it's evolved from being just a blog to also having podcasts, and then we host various events, primarily in Chicago. I do have plans to expand that in 2023 to other cities, but my specialty is in marketing. I've worked in marketing for over 20 years, but I've always worked with various companies, whether they were small businesses, and then I've been employed by major corporations. So understanding what a business plan is, understanding the importance of a 30, 60, and 90-day plan. So when it comes to blogging, that remains relevant. So I just want you guys to know that the blog topics they're not always pre-planned out. I usually decide it like 1 or 2 days before, which is semi terrible. But the flyers that we have out are very general, so you guys do get a sense that Firestarters is about many different things. It's a lifestyle blog, more or less. And if you read the tagline on the website, it says helping entrepreneurs to find their light, find what they love, find what inspires them, so that they can teach others, so we can all evolve. So that is me and the company, and a brief intro into its origins. I do have a studio guest right now, but he's not as familiar with blogging, but maybe we'll pull him in at the end if he has any questions about things I didn't think you guys might want to know. So what I am going to say is my history with blogging didn't start in 2020. That's just this particular company that I wanted to focus solely on blogging. I had another company, and it's still in existence. It's just not as active. We'll put it that way. But it started off as a blog, and how do I describe where it came from? Like it when you go to that website, you'll even see initially I was asked by a family member to come up with a exit strategy, more or less, something that the entire family could get in on. And my whole thing was having a speakers bureau. And even at that time, it was relevant to have a blog or have a place where people would find articles that would relate to the speakers that we featured. But at the end of the day, we all use the internet. If you're of my age, then you remember like sites like Ask Jeeves and people using Yahoo, or if you're even early internet, Gen X, you remember all those AOL CDs that would come out, and everyone would use AOL. And AOL was a valid search engine at that point in time. Google was not top of the food chain, you know? And to this day, there are other search engine sites that people use to find information. But ultimately, the internet was a game changer, and it became this place where people could find information quickly. They didn't have to go into the yellow pages to locate companies. They didn't, like, word of mouth is always going to be relevant. But nowadays, you don't have to rely so much on word of mouth, or the word of mouth you're relying on comes from the internet. So hence, this is where blogging comes in. And what it is like to be a blogger is it's fun, and it is also it's a challenge in itself, because you have to hold yourself accountable. It is entrepreneurship still at its finest, and what you want to do is really create consistency for yourself. And one of the ways that you should do that is really, this is where having a calendar, having structure is critical, and blocking it out as though you get paid. And initially, depending on how you set up your blog, you may not. So how do you get paid being a blogger? I don't want to start there, but it is possible. It's just that you have to do your outreach, have to build it out, and then create it so that whether you're doing ads or sponsors or whatever, that's in place. But let's get into, as far as how a blog goes. So like I said, the first company I created, it was about different motivational speakers or people who would be keynote speakers. And I would reach out to those speakers that I had in my portfolio and see if they had any topics of interest or things that they wanted to highlight, and ask them to write blog articles. But I always knew at the end of the day, it was going to fall on me. And so you want to create consistency around that. When I started Love Inspire Teach E, you can, if you go to our website, you'll see we have our mission and our value statement. Like, we want to help over 1 million people find their light, their inner light, what they love, what inspires them, what they can teach to others, so we can all evolve. And I actually did take a course I've taken several courses, so I have to admit to that. Like, it wasn't just in college and being the VP of public relations where it came in that this was valid and worthwhile to me. Because more or less, I looked at blogging as being like the editor of a newsletter or online newspaper, and that was one of the things I was in charge of in college. But with your blog, you don't necessarily want to just talk about any and everything. Kind of the way I do the podcast, even though I say I can talk about whatever I want, I always have 4 main broad topics in mind, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whether it's health and wellness, or whether it's spirituality. But I have those four main overarching goals to touch on in any podcast, right? And so tonight it would really touch more on your finances and how entrepreneurship can help you with that. And that includes becoming a blogger. And so the other thing I will say is there are tons of free courses available. So if you guys know, there is a frequent co-host guest. She co-hosts on Thursdays with this Light Sisterly Love podcast, but Tai, when she comes on, she's getting her MBA and she's learned a lot. She just recently launched her blog, and it forced me to revisit some of the things I initially looked at and tools that I initially used. So what I'm going to share with you is I do have affiliate links. So I'm going to share with you one of the free sites that I use. And I really want to highlight the first person who ever supported me and who I just love dearly, but I couldn't get her course to pull up. So let me see if I can get this one to work one more time. Because I do have these, I have way too many tabs open. Okay, cool. So this is a very early on product that my dear friend Shalina Diva created. And it was learning how to do YouTube. So I will share this, and I will share let's see what this pulls open. I'm sorry, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at right now. But I'm trying to find my affiliate link. Yeah, this is not the right thing. Because that's one of the ways you can make money. You can become an affiliate with other blogs. I've gotten paid for writing articles for other blogs. You want to make sure you note that. But let me go to Shalina first and share with you guys some of the people that taught me what I know instead of just going off of my intuition or my past experiences. Because while that is totally valid, I felt like I had some gaps. So let's see. I'm trying to share my screen, so bear with me. Thank you for your patience. All right, so we're gonna go here first, okay? So let me get back to StreamYard and let me share my screen. For those of you that are on Facebook, you're not gonna be able to see this, so I'm actually gonna end the Facebook Live because it was just gonna. It's always I try to remember to make it a brief behind the scenes, but I usually forget. But y'all on Facebook need to come to the Facebook business page or to YouTube because it's being broadcasted live from both of those locations. All right. But actually, for y'all, I'm gonna go on my personal Facebook, my actual personal page, just because I want to make sure, generally speaking, people know too. So now you guys can see the screen and you can see that I'm sharing. I didn't even tell Shalina I was going to do this today. She's actually a new mom, so I really should get better about reaching out to my friends. Is I have no excuse anymore. School started, so let me get over that. So this was one of my first coaches. I went to Duke with her. Her name is she got married, so I know her as Shalina Broster. I always feel like I pronounced that last name wrong, but and I'm not sure if she even changed her last name. But in any case, she was featured on like Dr. Oz. I want to say she was even on Kelly Clarkson's show, but her courses were not so focused on, just starting up, being an entrepreneur. But her company's name is Best Selling Year. You can see if you go to her website, bestsellingyear.com, she does have a free guide that you can get if you go to her website. These are some of her past clients. And then you can see the prices for a lot of her courses are very reasonable. So you can see monetizing your Facebook group. I think I took that course. Canva Diva, I've never done that. How to set up your home studio, I took that one. I think there was like a special pricing she had going on, and I paid less than that price for it. And her prices were reasonable, but you can also see that she offers a whole bunch of free stuff. And by creating a blog, you can make money. You create your own personal brand. She'll guide you. And these are things I can do, and it is like the consulting side covers this. But if you ever want to work with someone, she's in the Philly area. If you just want to spread the business around, like, I would recommend her completely. My favorite thing to do is marketing, but I can do this as well. But I love to promote the people that taught me. So I would never get offended if you went to Shalina and wanted to take any of her courses. So I guess I didn't even realize she has a free class for getting started without a website. I've done that before. I didn't take her course. I did it through ConvertKit, because you can use ConvertKit to create, to basically create a landing page when you don't have your own website. So you don't even have to have a website. Shalina's first book was when she was going through a really hard time. And she basically, if I remember correctly, one of the first classes that really got me was laptop, Wi-Fi, and a celly. And that's how she basically continued to support herself when she decided to leave the relationship that she was in. But there are a ton of amazing free courses here. She even has recommendations, like I'm using StreamYard right now. I use Canva all the time. I didn't even realize she had a sign-up link. I should have used her link so she got credit. And then I don't use this mailer program. I think I had asked her a question about why she prefers that one. And she uses Later as opposed to some people use Hootsuite. But awesome person, awesome site that I use to help me get started with blogging and honing in on how can I help people. When they say create your niche, who do you resonate with? And I really hated that I always got told I resonated with women. So I've been very hard-headed about going that route. But it's still naturally been happening, even though I welcome everybody. So I wanted to show you the other page. So let me stop sharing this tab. I want to share a different tab. So if you are just joining, I do apologize. I didn't lock up my dog because I was in another meeting where she had to be locked up. But I am showing on the YouTube and Facebook business page actual websites that I use that help me create my blog. So let me pause here for a second. I'm going to pull up this website, and then I'm going to put this dog away because I think everyone's coming home and she's going to start doing more barking because that's just what she likes to do. But yeah, so this is another course of her kitchen. Let me put the dog away. You guys look at that. If you're on Facebook, I'm ending this live shortly, so I really encourage you to go to the Facebook business page. All right. The puppies don't really get loud, so I don't have to worry about them so much. They're so cute. I don't know if you could see them down on the ground there. But okay, so if you're on Facebook, our Facebook business page, the Love Inspire Teach Eat site on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see I'm in an actual product that I purchased. Now, she moved the course it started on Facebook in a private Facebook group, and it was something I purchased, and you had lifetime access. So she moved it on to, actually, I want to say it was Padia, and I guess she moved away from that. I don't remember the details and the numbers why. So then she moved it to a different platform, and I still got access. And that platform is Teachable. So that's how I accessed this course. So it says 6% complete, but I completed this course. So I'm not going to, because I paid for this and it's her proprietary work, I'm not going to go through everything. And again, this one is based on YouTube. But for me, as a blogger, I could blog about what it was like taking this course, how I was able to apply it to building my own platform, building my own webpage, and why I still find it valuable today, especially as a podcaster. Reviewing this course occasionally is helpful. So shout out to Tai. Thank you for reminding me I need to go back and review some of these courses that I paid for and took. So the other one I wanted to share with you guys is Lady Boss Blogger. Now hers is not a video course. So a lot of Shalina's courses were either live or video courses. So Lady Boss Blogger, her name is Elaine Rao. She's actually based here in Illinois, but I just found her I was on her mailing list for like 2 years before I decided to get into her courses. Now, here's the other thing about blogging. So you're going to create your blog. You want to have a niche market, or basically a need you're meeting, or something you feel like that can resonate with people. So that's the first thing with your blog. So if you were following along, you would have caught that. Facebook, I'm going to end this live because I need you to go to the actual YouTube page or to the Facebook business page so you can see what everyone else is seeing. So I hope you'll join us there. So the other thing is, once you found your niche, you don't necessarily have to have your website, even though, like I said, I use WordPress.com. The other one is Bluehost.com. You could go to Tumblr and create a free website that way. But you could also use this other site that is called ConvertKit. I don't have a producer with me, so I can't put all these in the chat really easily, really quickly. I'll try to. I'll at least put Shalina's info there. Thank you for joining. So if you missed it, the first site I showed is my friend Shalina Diva. Dina is an acronym, and her site is bestsellingyear.com. All right, so the next one would be bestsellingyear.com, and then the next one I was talking about is Lady Boss Blogger. So so that you guys can access Shalina, and let me put this link in for you guys so that you can see, like, I even did a testimonial for her, so I'm going to add this link to the comments. But as far as Lady Boss Blogger, I paid for a site with her too, but there is a free course you can take. So what am I sharing right now? Am I sharing anything? I thought I was. Okay, maybe not. Let me go back to sharing. This one, I think this one is the free. I think this is the free site. Free 7-day course. You can go here and sign up. She'll tell you why you should start blogging, how to figure out your why, or basically, like I said, that niche, that area of your life that you're going to relate to other people. And it's going to make it easy for you to, I feel like number 2 and 3 are tied together, discuss what you're going to blog about. Coming up with the company name, the order of these things, I think she just says she organized it in a certain way. Some people come up with the name first, and then she'll tell you how to set up your blog. I've already told you what sites I use. I use WordPress.com. That one's free. I love that one, but she recommends Bluehost. Tumblr is considered blogging. Blogspot's another one. And then she goes into how to make money blogging and how to get traffic to your blog. And this is her free 7-day course. So I will give you guys this link as well. I'll give you a little sneak preview behind the scenes of what I paid for, so that you can. Oh, and if you'll notice, this was the other point I was trying to make too, is you want to always build out your email list. Every website does this. They want to gather your information. They want to make sure that like I mentioned, it took 2 years before I actually purchased a course from Lady Boss Blogger. But even though it took 2 years, I still was on her mailing list. And at some point in my life, I was like, hey, she's posting to me about something free. I think I'm ready. I want to check it out. And hence I bought a course. So I'm going to show you that her course, which this one I didn't finish. But she even says like it'll take you time to get through it. It's not a video course. It's not a live course. You get to go at your own pace. And she's teachable as well. So you can see this is a course that I paid for. It says I'm 27% complete. I want to see if I can go back to show you where I started. No, it's not letting me. It's probably a different tab. But you can see how to start a money-making blog. So she does the 7-day free course, and then you can see here, she goes in, you'll see some of the topics are similar as to what she did in the 7-day free course, but then she expounds upon why, and she gives you resources. So her intro, discover your why again, sounds familiar, right? Find your niche. And it goes in detail here. And then she quizzes you to see how you're doing, getting your blog domain name, creating your target audience, designing your brand, email marketing strategy, blog marketing strategy. And it can all feel a little bit overwhelming at times. But I like that they break it up into easy pieces that you can do. So, again, like I said, there are ways to make money blogging, and you want to just get your basics out the way first. What are you going to blog about? Why are you doing it? How are you helping people? And build from there. And then you can get into the nitty gritty of, making sure that you're building your email list, that you are resonating with people, that you're consistent, that you've designed it so that it has this aesthetic you want. But certain things are less important than others. Like the fact of the matter is, what you always want to do is just get started. That is usually the hardest part for people, is just simply getting started. So let me stop sharing the paid thing for those of you that might tell on me. No, I'm an affiliate for both of these brands. So Lady Boss Blogger and Shalina Diva. But I never feel bad about being an affiliate, because I took the courses and I like the courses, and I wouldn't have signed up to be an affiliate if I didn't like them. And again, so for my blog, I don't promote them so much on my blog, but I could and I should. But you'll see in my email signature, if you reach out to me, I include these options for people. Now, sometimes some of the websites don't make it obvious where the free information is. So you have to dig a little, or you have to pay attention, or you have to be a little more detail oriented. But it's still there. They obviously are building a brand and supporting families, or building their own family, because I don't think Elaine has any kids yet. And they want you to purchase a course, because those courses have way more information and are more valuable. Like, that's just a fact. It's not even me promoting or understanding the idea of promotion. It's just a fact. Like, you get what you pay for, and that you get more information. And this is a lot to go through, and it's very valuable. I need to refresh myself. But so I stopped. Oh, I guess I already stopped sharing screen. I'm sorry. I thought you guys were looking at the same thing as me. So Lady Boss Blogger was another one, and I have one more for you. I primarily pick the ones that I find to be affordable in my price point, and that I enjoyed. Now, the more expensive ones, they are like money-making machines, and I hesitated to include them today. But for the guys that are out there, if you feel like you'll relate more to a guy who tells you how to build, I love the Advance Your Reach. Pete Vargas and his team, they do a lot of free events. They have a free Facebook group where there's a lot of free, valuable information there. Dean Graciosi and Tony Robbins are good friends, and they co-promote a lot of stuff. They do the whole mastermind. So if you want to get the more guy-focused, guy-driven, or guy male-led, those are some also great educators, speakers, billionaires that you can reach out to. Now, their courses are going to be a lot more expensive. Another person that I love that does a ton of free stuff and is awesome is Marie Forleo. So if you ever just Google like motivational speakers or top ranked influencers, bloggers, you'll find these people easily that way. But let me take you to another free one that I went to. So let's see. I need to go to share screen again. And then there's one more I wanted to share with you guys. Then we're at the halfway point where you guys, if you've watched the show before, you know that this is where my commercial break comes in. All right. So one more. Uh-oh. Where did it go? I did another great workshop this week with Claudia in the Unstoppable Mom, but hers isn't focused on blogging per se. Oh, here it is. The blog plan. So Drew, this should still be relevant to you. You can just insert dad. But all right, so she startamomblog.com. But she has a free course on a 12-month plan to grow your blog to thousands per month. So you can enroll in this course for free. I've taken this course before, but again, they gather the information. They see it says I already purchased this product. But that's a free course. So even though it says I purchased it, it was like funny because it was purchasing for free. So I got to change the tab. Why is this one? I knew I had it open already. No, this is that free course. Where is it? Let me try this again, guys. I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to share this one with you guys so you can see what I'm looking at in Teachable, which is a great site if you ever want to get into the whole doing an actual course teaching people, starting a whole marketing campaign for setting a date and building up to the online courses. Because again, the other thing people discovered during the pandemic is that you didn't have to pay money to rent a location and pull people there. Everyone was at home. Now that summer's over, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm probably gonna do more online stuff because I liked getting out in the summer. It's Chicago, we all like getting out. I probably should have did more online and saved myself some money, but I learned a lot and I had certain goals I was trying to meet. So let me stop yapping and get you guys to the screen share where I share this particular tab with you so you can see the 3 courses that I've purchased. Okay, so here, this is me in Teachable, my account. And you can see I'm an affiliate there. I get paid out through that one. But the other one I'm an affiliate, I get paid out a different way. I need to check my payouts to see if there's money there that I could use right now. So here's the Start a Mom blog Teachable. And I had to, this is a new laptop since I last used it, so I have to agree to all these different things. But this was a free course. You can see her name, Susie Whitford, and I just signed up for it, and hers is, again, video. So I'm not going to necessarily play all the video for you guys, but she gives you the outline, and you can track how your progress with it. But hers is 4 easy modules. You can see how long they are: 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 9 minutes, and the 1 minute where she gives you a gift. And then there's a bonus. There is a 12-month blog plan, which I don't even remember if I downloaded a copy of that. And as you take more of these courses and learn more over time, hi guys, how are you? Instagram, I am actually live on YouTube and live on our Facebook business page. So you guys I'm trying to give you the behind the scenes. I'm showing an actual website that I used when I created my blog. So that's our blog topic for tonight. So if you want to jump over there, you'll get a better view and instead of just seeing me talk. But if that's what you like, that's what you like. But anyway, what I was saying here is that what I found, as you could see, I took 3 different courses. I've taken way more than 3 courses, but I ended up customizing to what worked for me in my life and my schedule and my preferences and my strengths. So the 12-month plan that she has, blog plan, I would advise differently on that. And then these are several years old, at least 2 to 3 years, some even a little bit older. So some of the sites have changed and some of the details behind them have changed. So you want to factor that in. So I'm just going to stop sharing, but that's another free course. And when it comes to blogging, it's still relevant. It's still worthwhile. And as you gain more traction, you build more confidence and you can do more things. Like I said, Love, Inspire, Teach, E started as simply a blog and a website with a blog that I wanted to promote. And then the more courses I took, the more it wasn't even the more courses that I took, the more confident I got. Then it was like, okay, let me go ahead and pivot and add the podcast. Let me go ahead and pivot and do actual live events. And there's a way to do live events for free. Like I did mine at places that I enjoyed, but you can just schedule a meetup. Go to meetup.com, schedule something on Eventbrite, and you can schedule events that way. It doesn't have to be in your home. It doesn't have to be at a place that you rented out privately. There are other ways to build, often just writing articles about things that are relevant to you. So I'm sorry, I kept talking for way longer than I expected. Commercial break. I need you guys to make sure that you share this, you like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, check out our website, purchase merch. I meant to put this shirt on today, if I'm being honest. I meant to I could keep the jacket on, but put the shirt on. I just completely forgot. But on our website, you can purchase the Love, Inspire, Teach, E first edition shirt that actually says Learn, Inspire, Teach, E, Evolve. And the shirt is up there for $40, I believe. But let's go ahead and do a special price for any of y'all watching the podcast tonight. If you make a purchase by midnight tonight, then you will pay half price. It'll be $20. So, and it is a high quality shirt where the rhinestones will not come off. So for the fellas out there, if you have a special lady in your life, it's a great gift to give just because. It doesn't even have to be an occasion. Because for the guys, Sweetest Day is coming up. That's in October. So just if you want to plant seeds. So that's my commercial break. Podcast on Thursday, Light Sisterly Love. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the studio. If anyone wants to come on, unmute their microphone, ask any questions, share any thoughts or feedback, we can do that. And then I'll go into, I barely touched on what it's like blogging and really getting into it, because I had so many sites I wanted to share with you that were free resources that you can use. But sometimes it's better if you have someone who can guide you more directly too. All right. So everyone's on mute. So maybe it's just going to be me. Let me check the private chat. Drew, I know you said you don't, you have never blogged, but based on what I shared, did you have any questions so far or anything? Hold on, you're not added yet. Okay, go ahead.
No, the only question I had was you had mentioned a place called ConvertKit. What all does ConvertKit entail? Is that how somebody would get started? Does it provide the structure? I know you mentioned they could help you if you didn't have a website. They could help you kind of get a platform going on that end, and then so is ConvertKit something that most people that just getting started is something like a platform they would use?
I wouldn't say most people use it. It's just if you're familiar with it or you've heard of it, then you have it as an option. And ConvertKit.com is a website, and they actually have a lot of free courses that is designed to help people create their own website. So when you go to ConvertKit.com, you can get started for free and build a campaign. And like I said, if you don't have your own website, like let's say you haven't gone to WordPress.com, but you know that you just want to get started and you feel that it's really important to start collecting people's email addresses. What ConvertKit does is they will, in the free access part, they will help you or guide you in creating what's called a landing page. And the landing page, for when you go to a website and that pop-up comes up like join our mailing list and we'll give you 20% off, or if you share your contact information with us, we'll give you a free gift. And it might be like a PDF of how to save $200 by doing these simple things with your bills.
Mm-hmm.
So all those pop-ups are basically considered landing pages. Or sometimes you'll go to a website and it's under construction and it'll be like, we're under construction right now, but send us this and we'll notify you when our site's back up. So ConvertKit is a nice way to get started without even having built out a website, without having an aesthetic, without having your first blog. You just have people say, hey, look what I decided to do. Go to this page, and ConvertKit will even let you make up your own little name for it. So this is where you kind of have to decide, do you want to come up with the brand? Do you want to come up with the name first? Or do you want to just get started and building and growing your list of people to reach out to? Especially if you have like our friend from high school who wanted to do I think Tony wanted to do like handkerchiefs and like the accent pieces for men in their outfits. So let's say he has a full-time job, but he doesn't want to do Instagram. He just wants a website so that people who knows him and knows about what he's doing and likes the fabrics he chooses and whatnot, he just wants to send them somewhere. ConvertKit is a great tool that lets you just gather that data, give people a very small preview of great information, and you're collecting that information. And they have the whole back end that gives you the design. It'll give you the option if you want to make it a landing page where it's like, hi, nice to meet you. If you'd like to know about what our plans are for the future and get on our mailing list, plug in here. Or as you get more advanced, like my WordPress, I use ConvertKit for my website, loveinspiredteaching.com. You'll notice if you wait like 5 seconds, a pop-up will eventually show up on my actual website that I pay for that asks you, do you want to join our mailing list? And it'll collect that information. So ConvertKit is an option. It's not necessarily a required starting point or the best starting point. You have to decide what works best for you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Glad you're interested. So I guess I'll kick it to Tai Tai. Was there anything that you had that you wanted to ask?
I mean, you know what my issue is creating the page. That's my issue that I need help with picking the topics I want to talk about and how to pick which which background is best for me or something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just came from the doctor. I'm tired. So.
Oh, you're fine. No need to apologize. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, so you already got started with your blog. You came up with a name. So if you were here for the beginning, you would see those different courses I took. They didn't have you start with there. They made you do the brainstorming first. Tai just told me she did want to do a blog and she wanted me to help her get started. And I didn't make her outline everything up front. I just said, all right, have you thought of a name? Have you decided what your topics are going to be? And she had thought of the name. So I said, all right, we'll go to WordPress. We created her free blog site. She didn't go to ConvertKit. She didn't do any of that. She just came up with that part. And then just the other night, she was asking me, she's like, well, how do I, when it comes to designing, I was like, let's not so much worry about the design. What are your three main, let's just pick three, but you can pick two or you can pick one. It doesn't have to be that much. Like just give yourself easy bite-sized pieces, easy steps that you can take to get started. And so she came up with, do you want to share what your topics are going to be on or you want to hold off?
I'll hold off.
Okay. So she came up with 3 overarching themes. And so when she told me that, I said, okay, so that's what we'll use to figure out your design element. How we'll decide like what images to use. And then, she can always pick any color scheme you want. But if you notice, one of the courses that I pulled up, I think it was Lady Boss Blogger, there is a lot of psychology and science behind the colors you choose and what resonates with people. Like blue is a cool, calming color that a lot of people relate to, and you'll notice a lot of top brands use it, whether we're talking Pfizer is a pharmaceutical company, United Airlines. I had another big one and it just flew out my head. But there's that, and then like the red, the call to action brands, and a lot of times you'll see like the emergency personnel or like safe light auto, or the one that replaces your windshield. So you can go in depth into picking a color scheme that will resonate within the industry that you've targeted. So you can drill down that much into it. But for me, especially as a so-called busybody, a person who does a lot, I like to just break it down into simple pieces at first, and then I can build in and add all these more complex and detail-oriented things, because I find that if you do too much up front, you get it gets really daunting, you get overwhelmed, and you don't want to do it. Like you don't even get started because you're already like, oh my God, it's too much, I can't do it. You don't want to defeat yourself by putting way too much on to do it. That's why I always advocate for let's start simple and go from there. And the biggest thing for me is always making sure it's something that resonates with you, because you will burn out 10 times faster if it's something that you're not even interested in. So I think you said that was your main question though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, all right. So I feel like I covered a ton of information, and I want to make sure you guys gathered, as far as what it's like to be a blogger. Let me kind of make it a little more simple as opposed to all that I threw at you guys with those websites and those different people I use. So you don't have to take a free course. I'm just saying they're available out there. But when it comes to what it's like for me as a blogger, I really started with, all right, what is it I want to blog about? Why do I want to blog about this? Why is it important? And then the third crucial question to ask yourself is, does it meet a need? Are there other people who can relate to what I'm talking about or what I'm going to be blogging about? And if you know there are people out there that can relate to it, then you have a very viable blog that you can grow and build from. And remember that everybody is different. So you have to find your tribe. If you've ever heard that phrase, you've got to find your tribe. You've got to find your people. And don't ever feel discouraged because like my blog doesn't necessarily relate to people who are in the top 10% echelon billionaires. They've already done all these things that I've done. Do I ever let that bother me? Or if someone, for me, when I was doing some of the podcasts, they were $4.99 for, I think, the month of July and August. I just haven't been good about charging for the podcast on Facebook like I should be. But I always felt if a person can't afford that $4.99, they're probably not my target audience, my niche audience, because if people don't understand that you can't always do everything for free, because you're not going to make money if you do it that way. The dog is literally biting the Blue Apron box. These puppies are at that phase. I'm sorry. I just it's very distracting because I really want to smack the puppy. Stop it. Stop. I'm sorry. Easily distracted by that. So anyway, back to my point. When it comes to the blog, make sure you're blogging about something that is important to you, that resonates with you so you don't burn out, and that it meets a need. And then the other thing is be consistent with it. If there's 3 things I want you to take away from today and getting started, is just get that consistency, do something that matters to you, and get started. And from there, everything else can fall into place. You can use all those resources I talked about, but don't overwhelm yourself. Because if you overwhelm yourself, you're going to quit. You're going to be like, this is too hard. I can't do it. Unless you hire a coach. Now, All right, I'll go ahead and shamelessly plug. It wasn't part of my plan, but you'll find that a lot of sites, including my own, with consulting, you can call it coaching, you can call it consulting, but basically you're in an advisory role. So when someone is saying, I'm stuck here, I've hit a wall, you hire someone to basically essentially get you past that wall, help you find the next steps in your business. I mean, if you're a detail-oriented type A person, you might say, TeMeka, you're being way too basic with this. It's so easy to start a blog. Then I can easily give you, hey, here's a 30-day plan, a 30, 60, 90-day plan on creating a blog and making it so that you hit this goal number of 500 subscribers and followers by this date. And then by day 90, you'll be selling courses and making a certain amount of money. Now, if you do those types of things, also know that you are going to be direct marketing. You're not going to just be posting it on Facebook, just posting it to Instagram. When the clients that I've gotten for my company, that was an actual phone call, or that was those in-person events where I met someone and I did my follow-up. So if you want to make money with the blog, keep in mind that that's a hard thing for a lot of people. If you're not a social person or you're not a talkative person, again, I worked in sales and marketing for over 20 years. So I know that part's coming and I don't have a hard time with it. But I meet many people where they're like, I don't want to tell anyone what I'm doing. I don't know if my topic resonates. That fear overtakes them. So that's when, like I said, you have the option of hiring a coach. I've partaken in group coaching. I did it with Lisa Nichols. It was a good program. There were some operational things that kind of made me fall off a little bit. Marie Forleo has a ton of free YouTube videos. Like I said, Lady Boss Blogger, Shalene Diva, you could see on their sites. They have all these resources available to you, and you have to decide your price point. And you also find that as people grow bigger, the prices go up, obviously. So Shalena's course, it's like $47 for the how to set up your home studio course. I think I took it for like $25. So yesterday's price is not today's price. So factor that in. And if you find that you're meeting someone who's just starting out and someone who hasn't worked in sales and marketing for over 20 years like me, they may not charge as much. Like I've had some clients where I think they thought because I was a startup company and my consulting company was going to have lower price points. I'm at $45 an hour. And I think that throws some people off. But when you've been in an industry as long as I have and you know your value, you're not going to step off your price. And it lets you know whether or not you're in your target market or not. And so that's kind of going a little bit deeper than I wanted to. But for my type A folks, I do want you to know if you need that, put that in the comments. If you are watching the replay, and let me know, and I'll get back to you on how to share some more detailed ones. And we'll probably do a follow-up podcast. But I just wanted tonight to touch base on that because I've posted new blogs. I actually had someone else blog for me. And then I posted 2 new blogs in the last, I think it was 60 days. And it made me realize I need to get back into my blogging and using that as another tool to promote besides the podcast. Because I love the podcast, but my first love was writing. Like people tell me I'm a decent writer. I have a way with words, depending on what moment I'm in and if I've had drinks or not, because it's a happy hour podcast. But regardless, it's easy to get started. The hardest part is to get started, and the next hardest part is to keep going. So I encourage you to hire a coach, a consultant, an advisor, whatever you want to call that person. But if it's not your price point, don't let that stop you. So we're at 54 minutes. I normally would have a nonprofit to highlight and share with you guys. And so what I want to do today is I want to again highlight NoBats.com. It's the No Bats Baseball Club, and they are helping the Chicago White Sox charities this weekend at White Sox Stadium. Guaranteed Rate is the name of it now. It used to be called Old Comiskey. Then they built a new one. It was New Comiskey, and then they renamed it many, many times. But if you're from Chicago, you should know what I'm talking about. And then I think Joe set the cutoff for September 15th. So any donations you share with Joe, then they go to the White Sox baseball charity, and they do a lot of work in the city here of Chicago, and they're close to Bronzeville, they're close to Bridgeport, they're close to Chinatown, they're close. If you really think about it, they're close-ish to Inglewood, Woodlawn areas, so they support a lot of the communities on the south side of Chicago. I don't know if they leave the stuff up north to the the north side team, but there's enough love to spread around in this city. So I put the website again in the comment section. It's nobats.com. Joseph Calvanico was on the podcast last Tuesday, and he shared with you why he got involved, why it was important to him, and it's a worthy organization that actually supports multiple causes. When I'm part of the Chicago White Sox Volunteer Corps, they have a Facebook group, and it was started with the Obama administration when they were encouraging people to give back to their community. And so I've volunteered for several of their events, and one was I think painting in a local, literally 5 minutes from my house when I lived in 48th and Prairie, a local public school that needed some improvements. And so it gave the opportunity to learn about a school in the area and then help. And then another volunteer event they coordinated, I think it was just like a career day. So I just came to tell the kids about what I did for a living, whatever job I was on at that time. I was actually in healthcare and sales and marketing when I did that volunteer core day. But check that organization out, support not nobats.baseball club, but they're at nobats.com. And by doing that, you'll be supporting Chicago White Sox charities. So thank you guys again. Last commercial break. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and ring the notification bell. If you haven't checked out our website already, you can purchase merch there. You can purchase our services. We don't have events up for September. We're taking a break from events in September, but come October, I am overdue to do the makeup for the game night with art. I have an artist on tap, and he's going to help me with the location. And then we need to get the paint and sip together. I actually had to postpone the private paint and sip for my core group of advisors for Love Inspire Teach E because I'm going out of town. But we need to do a big paint and sip for everyone. So we've got some fun things coming up. And as always, you can't forget that I'm also going to mention our newest podcast, the LITE Sisterly Love podcast, where we really are helping one another in the community give love to the women of our lives. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I really appreciate you guys being patient. I know it's 3 minutes late, but we're going to end on time, and sharing your time with me. And if you caught the replay, so we completely appreciate you too. Don't think that we don't notice those things. We don't catch that. We totally do. And you are valuable as well. So thanks again. And you guys have a great night. I'm going to end the broadcast. Anyone in the studio, if you want to stay after, ask me anything, feel free. Good night, guys. Is this computer moving a little slow? Okay. End broadcast. End the live. Hey, how you doing? Were you calling because of that? You're muted, by the way.
You still live.
Oh, I am? I'm sorry.